So welcome everyone to this demo for Sprint 2021.34. And let's start with summarizing what we have done during this summer sprint. So we have worked on support for reporting with BIRT. So as you may remember, this was a feature we had up until HCL 10.3. Then we couldn't support it in 11 and 11.1 due to that BIRT didn't support the same Eclipse version, but now we have fixed that and we once again can use BIRT reporting with the latest version of HCL RTist. We also implemented support for adding operations to enums. So it actually was possible before, but now it's much easier and they will be translated to global functions. We continued our improvements for templates, and in this release, we have now added a preference that you can set so that the Project Explorer will show if an element has template parameters directly after the label of the element name. So you don't have to expand the tree to see it. We also improved some scenarios where the tool need to delete folders on the disk, but if that fails, it was previously silently ignored, which could lead to some tricky things that were tricky to understand for the user. So now we have introduced a more clear error message if this happens. And we have implemented support for path variables in transformation configurations, so you can now use them as an alternative to string substitutions and environment variables. And we improve the error handling in the model compiler so that now it prints clearly if it finds a variable reference that it cannot resolve. We also continued to improve the model debugger, and in this sprint we fixed a couple of problems related to missing state names and incarnate events that could happen in some situations. And then we've also worked for these past few weeks about custom capsule constructors. And this is a feature that we plan to ship in the next release in October, but we wanted to demo it already now since the implementation is more or less ready, but it still is in testing phase. But if you have some feedback on this, it would be great to get it already now. And it will also be possible to request an experimental build that you can use for playing with this feature soon. And last sprint then we talked about capsule unit testing with Mocha. So in this sprint we have further improved that, and now we made that feature non-experimental. And last but not least, we introduced a configurable license borrow period for the model compiler. So the current experimental feature is only the BIRT support. And in this sprint, we have delivered or will deliver tomorrow a new version of called 2021.34 that you should use with Eclipse 2006. And we didn't update any of the old versions, so they are still the same as before. And this table just summarizes the unique features that only exist in HCL RTist. We talked about them in previous sprint demos. So if you want to look them up, you can check there. So any questions before jumping into the demo?